We have an obligation here. We have an obligation to keep the lights on. And we do that in an incredibly complex way. And we need to always do that with an eye toward being respectful of the resource base of the world. The end game on Gridsmart is to let you and I have data in our hands before we consume electricity. Today, you and I are blind consumers, as are all customers everywhere in the world. You use the product. I hope you use it wisely and efficiently. And then 38 days later, you find out how much you used and how much you owe for it. That's kind of a backwards way of the way we typically do things in our normal buy-sell relationship with any vendor of any goods or service. So what Gridsmart will allow at the end of the day, and what we're working on with IBM and what we're working on with General Electric, is creating an envelope around your house that you can intervene through software technology, and the house will do what you want it to do. I think that'll cause everybody to become an energy conserver. Again, back to sustainability, back to energy efficiency. Short of that, Americans aren't going to spend a great deal of time, energy, or effort trying to think about, oh, I think I could save $2 if I did my laundry every week at night rather than during the day. But you can pre-program your equipment, in our vision of Gridsmart, to only run in certain hours of the day. You could set a price point. You could tell your dishwasher, run when the cost of electricity is 6 cents a kilowatt hour or less. You would need to be home. You wouldn't need to be anywhere. You want to make sure you have some dishes in there so it doesn't run on its own. But at the end of the day, it's that kind of technology that will make a difference in the amount of energy that's consumed in our country. We're big supporters of a cap-and-trade approach to the issue. We always lay in front of that comment that it needs to be reasonable. And by reasonable, we simply mean that it ought to have time reductions and target reductions that dovetail into the deployment of the technology. This is a technology challenge. And it's solvable by technology, and it will be solved by technology, just as we did with SO2 and NOx and mercury and many of the other issues that face the challenge of turning fuels into electricity, which is the highest form of energy consumption that we currently know. So let's be realistic about the timelines. Let's be realistic about the reductions. And most importantly, let's be realistic about how we go about controlling the issue so that we've not inadvertently taken a belly blow to an already weakened economy. And I said that in 2005, 2006, 2007. Let's make sure that we realize that it's global warming and it therefore needs a global answer. American Electric Power, again, setting a policy standard that I think others are, I hope, admiring of, but at any rate reached out to the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, our largest union component and one of the largest unions in the utility business in the United States, and said, let's develop a concept that would call other countries who intend to export their goods to our country to buy a carbon credit at the shore if they don't have a carbon cap-and-trade program in their homeland, to equal out the manufacturing economy, which is so important for the men and women in this country who earn their living manufacturing goods. Supported by both sides of the aisle, included so far in every bill that's come out of the House or Senate. And I love it every time I hear this is the IBEW/AEP global warming proposal, because look, people ask this question, Mike, what happens if the technology doesn't develop? Then will coal go away as we know it? And the answer is no. Coal is going to be burned in China. It's going to be burned in India. It's going to be burned in Russia. It's going to be burned in this country. It's going to be burned throughout Indonesia, throughout South America. The issue is the technology will develop. As you know, we're deeply involved at American Electric Power in deploying the technology with our partners, RWE, the Alstom company. This is an answer not only needed for our shareholders and our customers, it's an answer needed for our country. And Quite honestly, it's an answer needed for the world.